bigger for you tomorrow night against Sydney if you want to finish in that top 2 spot?
Yeah, most definitely. I've always said Sydney are the benchmark team of the A-League, especially over the last 5 years, and it's going to be a great test for us tomorrow night and something that we're really looking forward to.
If you don't get a result, you could slip out of finals completely. If you do get a result, you could keep pushing for a top 2. How aware of you of that? Have you talked to the guys about that?
Look, everyone's aware of how the table situates at the moment. But at the moment, we've still got everything in our hands, and we know if we can get 2 wins out of our last 2 games, there's a good chance we could be, potentially be a top 2 side, or at least be a top 4. So that's what our goal is.
Where does this sit in terms of A-League finishes to a season? Right up there?
Yeah, look, it's last year it was very close as well. We only just missed out last year by a point. So this year, we're aware. We want to, as a club, our goal is to be successful and to play finals football. And tomorrow night we need to, put our mark on the league for this season and get a good result.
Injuries-wise, obviously one day and Yengi were running some laps out there. How are they tracking? And they're going to be out this week, aren't they?
Yeah, they're definitely out. They've, both got hamstring injuries, so it's not ideal. It's been something that hasn't been ideal for us this year. We've lost too many players over the course of the season with injuries, which is not great. So it's something that we need to look into for next season.
How do you feel Yengi's whole? I think Ben played in that sort of false 9 role almost on the weekend. Do you have to do that again?
Look, we got Alassane coming back into the squad. We weren't happy with some of the things that he'd done in the last few weeks, so we sent him to the NPL, and he responded well, as best as he could. He scored a hat-trick. We couldn't ask any more from him, so he'll come back into the squad, and hopefully he can bring some of that form back into the A-League.
What do you need to see from Alassane? He burst onto the scene and just looked like his star was going to continue to rise. What do you need to see at A-League level to make sure that he continues on that trajectory?
Look, he just needs to get his confidence back. As you said, he burst onto the scene and had a great season last year, and then he had a few injury concerns in the off season, and just hasn't been able to get his body back to where it was when he was playing that well. And we're aware of that, and we've given him time this year, and hopefully he can start showing that form that he had when he came into the season last year.
Will he lead the line? That's the plan?
Yeah, that's our plan. Yeah, Alassane will come straight in and play. So we're looking for him to, as I said, score goals. That's what he's there to do, is score goals and help link up the play the way that we want to play football. So and that's what we're expecting from him.
How's the week look from a COVID point of view? I think most of the players sort of took it upon themselves to go and get tested. Has that been a bit of a distraction? How have you all handled that?
Yeah, look, it's unfortunately that's the world we live in at the moment, and we were in Melbourne on the weekend, and fortunately we stay to ourselves pretty much when we travel. And when the boys came back, we all had to go have our tests, and we all got our negative results. So that's something that you just have to manage. We're used to it now. There's interruptions of the season, last season, this season. We just have to do what we can do.
Do you feel for some of your most die-hard fans who made the trip over to Melbourne who can't watch the game? I'm sure you know a lot of them personally.
Yeah, it's disappointing for them, because they were tremendous last week. I think there was at least 200 of them there last week at the victory game, which was great. And that's something that while we love playing at home, because our supporters are so passionate and they get behind the team, and we're going to need that tomorrow night. The lift that they give the players during the game is tremendous, and a couple of times this year they've got us over the line and got us the 3 points, and we're going to need that again tomorrow night from our supporters.
What concerns you most about Sydney? What's their main threats that you'll be trying to quell, I guess?
Yeah, look, they're a very difficult side to score against, Sydney. That's a lot of people talk about their attacking threats, that they've got, but first of all, you've got to break them down. They're a very difficult side to break down, and then they're very dangerous on the counter-attack. They've got some very good quality players that don't need many opportunities, and they seem to take their opportunities when they get them. So that's something that we have to be mindful of. It's not singling out one player particularly, because they've got quite a few players that can hurt you at moments in games.
Do you look at these final 2 matches holistically and plan a squad to be spread across Saturday and Thursday, or do you pick your best teams and go full?
Yeah, we'll pick our best team. We've tried to do that for the whole season, play our best 11 that's available. There's been when we had these 4 games in 11 days, we had to change 1 or 2 players, but we prefer not to change too much. We pick the best available 11, and that's the challenge for the playing group. They have to be in the best 11 and train to their highest quality every time they train.
It's all very hypothetical, but if finals come, which they should do, do you and I think it might be Brisbane, the other team, have somewhat of a leg up, given that you've had no international players caught up to the Socceroos?
Look, it's everyone has big squads, and it's just it's disappointing, I suppose, for those clubs to lose their players. But on the flip side, for those players, they're going to represent the country. There's no greater honour. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of players that have missed out on that, and I'm disappointed for them because I think they've had good seasons, and we would have loved to have had our players included in the Socceroos, because that's what you want. You want the Socceroos to have success, and you want your players to be part of that.
Could it mean guys like Craig, who scored on the weekend, might have a bit of an extra fire in the belly? Could that work in the Reds' favour?
Look, I suppose all players that have those aspirations will always have to play at their best. They don't need those other things to help fire them up. They've got their goals that they want to do, and they have to be at their best to achieve them.
Do you expect to get Cassini and Tommy back for finals, hypothetically for finals, or is this really an opportunity for Al Hassan to...
Yeah, look, it's an opportunity for Al Hassan. We expect Tommy to be back for next week's game. And with Cassini and Wande, we're not too sure yet. We'll let this week settle down with their injury, and then we'll reassess on Monday for those two. But we're expecting Tommy to be available for the Western Sydney game next week.